Good evening and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. We'll start off the look at your headlines for tonight.
National War Heroes Commemoration to be held tomorrow under the auspices of the President. Will political factions that accused each other be successful in their discussions to unite?
හැකි සෑම ස්ථානයකම අපි බලය ලබා ගන්නවා. ඒ ඔබට වළක්වන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ.
ප්‍රතිපත්තිමය වශයෙන් අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක පුද්ගලයෝ පදනම් කරගෙන යන්න බෑ.
පොහොට්ටුවේ හොරු හිටියානම් තවත් අපේ සහයෝගය අවශ්‍ය නැහැනේ.
පිපාසෙන් සාගින්නෙන් ඉන්නේ අර මෙච්චර කාල මේ වගේ බලය හොබවලා දැන් ඒක නැති වුණාට පස්සේ ආවුලෙන් ඉන්නේ දැන් ඒක ගන්න තමයි මේ උත්සාහය.
Attorney General appoints 4-member committee to examine the Butterlanda Commission report. Many areas receive rainfall of 100 millimeters. Sluice gates open at 10 major reservoirs. Special program in place to face any sudden disaster. US President prepares for a phone conversation with the Russian President. Isipatana College beat Trinity College and wins President's Trophy.
The ethnic tensions that erupted with the assassination of Jaffna Mayor Alfred Doreappa on the 27th of July 1975 marked the beginning of a long and painful chapter in Sri Lanka's history. The war left behind deep and lasting wounds. Our international reputation suffered. Foreign investment dried up. The economy crumbled. Development stagnated, and vital national resources were destroyed. People's daily lives became uncertain, and mutual suspicion between communities grew into hostility. Child soldiers were forced to kill and be killed. Women were dragged into combat. Innocent civilians disappeared, their bodies buried in Johnny Buttas, a haunting image that shaped global perceptions of our country. Checkpoints divided the land. Unnecessary restrictions shadowed civilian life. But on the 19th of May 2009, after nearly 3 decades of conflict, the war came to a decisive end on the banks of the Nanthi Lagoon. The barriers came down. The iconic Yaldevi train once again travelled south. Freedom and development, once confined to the south, began flowing toward the north. Peace took root. Smiles returned to the faces of our people. Now, we live in a time of peace, a hard-earned peace that must be safeguarded with vigilance and responsibility. To rebuild an economy weakened by history and hardship, and to preserve this fragile yet precious harmony, we must look to a new generation of Sri Lankans, those who think with fresh minds, see with broader perspectives, and live with the spirit of shared humanity. Only through unity, compassion, and a collective national vision can we move forward toward a truly peaceful, prosperous, and inclusive Sri Lanka.
"16 years ago today, our country put an end to decades of brutal terrorism. On this day, our military carried out one of the largest humanitarian missions ever, rescuing thousands of civilians held hostage by terrorists. To the courageous men and women who gave everything to protect our right to live in peace, we owe you a debt of gratitude that words can't fully express."
Newsfirst, with the people.
The political scene in Sri Lanka is currently heated due to talks about the ruling parties possibly working together ahead of the upcoming provincial council elections. These discussions focus on forming alliances to share power at the local government level. The big question is, will these efforts to unite parties who strongly criticized each other before the elections actually succeed? And what will the outcome of these talks be?
In recent days, the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna, the United National Party and the Samagi Jana Balawegya, as opposition parties, have held several rounds of discussions about forming joint control in local government bodies. Chief Executive Officer of the SJB, Ajit P. Pereira, took part in a recent meeting that included representatives such as the General Secretaries of the SLPP and SJB. He expressed these views at a media briefing held today.
We respect the public's mandate in every local government body across the country. We will take power wherever possible based on agreements between elected representatives. We will also take control in Colombo. That cannot be stopped. We are not forming political alliances. We are just making practical arrangements to take control of each local government body based on the decisions made by local representatives. Ranil Wickramasinghe and the SLPP formed a political alliance. What we are doing is not the same. If the opposition has gained strong support at the grassroots level, should we ignore the message the people have conveyed? If that's what the public has decided, what's wrong with that? Why would it be a problem?
Is the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna considering an alliance with the Samagi Jana Balawegya? Today, the General Secretary of the SLPP expressed views on these talks.
The people have given a clear message in the local government elections. As political parties, we have a duty to listen to their mandate. We are engaging in discussions not just with the Samagi Jana Balawegya, but with all political parties in Sri Lanka. Our goal is to meet the aspirations of the people while staying true to our policies and values.
What is the latest on the ongoing alliance discussions? Here is what national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna, MP Namal Rajapaksa, had to say.
We are clearly acting in line with the people's mandate in each local government body. If one party has more than 50% of the seats, they can form the council. If not, a majority of members can come together and elect a chairperson. Our actions must be guided by principles, not by people.
Are the SLPP General Secretary and National Organizer listening to their grassroots representatives? Today, a group of SLPP members from the Haliala division, who contested and won in the recent local government elections, expressed their views at a media briefing. Here is what they had to say.
At first, they said no SLPP member would even be able to enter the village. But we went there and gained strong support. Now we have a team ready to take that support even further in the upcoming provincial council elections. There's no reason to. We plan to move forward as the Sri Lanka Podu Jana Peramuna. That's how our local candidates feel.
Is the opposition seeking power in local government bodies for the benefit of the people? Here are the views expressed by Education Secretary of the Frontline Socialist Party, Pubudur Jayagoda, on this issue.
The ruling party doesn't have a majority anymore. They claim the opposition does, but there's no single united opposition. No one contested the election under a common opposition banner. People voted for individual parties, so now if those parties plan to unite, they need to clearly explain why. What's the purpose behind joining together? What's the plan for the next 5 years? If they want to work together, they should unite around a common program. But that's not what's happening. There's no work plan, no vision. They haven't even thought about what comes next. Their only urgency is to grab power. Why? Because they are desperate. They were in power for years, and now that they've lost it, they are just trying to take it back.
Newsfirst with the people.
Still in local news, several events to commemorate the 16th anniversary of the end of the 30-year-long civil war were held across the island today.
A religious event was held opposite the Senuara Mavil Aru Sluice Gate today to commemorate the 16th anniversary of the end of the 30-year-long civil war. On the 16th of July 2006, LTTE terrorists closed down the Mavilaru Sluice Gate, and Venerable Theras launched a fast unto death in a bid to save the paddy fields that were at risk of being destroyed. The Sri Lankan Tri-Forces sacrificed their lives and liberated this area, and the event today invoked blessings on all of those war heroes. An event to commemorate war heroes was held at Nidahangala, Mahiyangana today. The event was attended by disabled as well as retired members of the Tri-Forces. The Sri Lanka Federation of the Visually Handicapped also organized an event to commemorate war heroes in Balangoda today. An event to commemorate the lives of civilians lost during the Civil War, organized by the May 18th organization, was held along the Vallavatta coast today. However, a group of people who arrived at the site of the event voiced their objection against the May 18th organization.
මේ රටේ උනේ ත්‍රස්තවාදයත් එක්ක යුද්ධයක් විතරයි. මේ රටේ නන්දි කඩාල් වල මැරුණේ ත්‍රස්තවාදී. මේගොල්ලෝ සිවිල් ඇසියෝ කියලා කියන්නේ ත්‍රස්තවාදී හිටපු ටූටෝන් කාරයෝ. උන් සිවිල් ඇසිය වෙන්නේ කොහමද? ලංකාවේ හමුදාව වෙඩි තිබ්බේ ත්‍රස්තවාදීන්ට විතරයි. උන්ට එංගලන්තය ඇතුළු යුරෝපේ ඇමරිකාවේ කැනඩාවේ සිටිසන් ගන්න ඕන කමට රට ඇතුලේ ප්‍රශ්න ඇති කරන්නේ. ජනසංහාරයක් වුණා නම් වැල්ලවත්තේ මේ වැල්ලවත්තේ කොහොමද දමල මිනිස්සු ඉන්නේ? ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙන්නේ ත්‍රස්තවාදීන් ආරක්ෂා කරන ජාතිය ජනතාව ආරක්ෂා.
However, the situation was brought under control with the intervention of the Vallavatta police.
Commemorative events were held today across the northern and eastern provinces, honouring those who lost their lives during the civil war. In Mullivaikal Mulitev, a large crowd gathered to pay tribute. At the University of Jaffna, students and locals came together for a solemn ceremony, also in memory of the lives lost. Similar events also took place in several other towns, including Vaunia, Mana, Patikalo and Kilinochchi.
Sri Lanka will mark the 16th anniversary of the end of its civil war with the official National War Heroes commemoration ceremony scheduled for tomorrow. The event will be held under the patronage of President Anurukumara Dissanayake from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the War Heroes Monument in Pattaramulla.
For this special event, the three commanders who led the final phase of the war, Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, Admiral of the Fleet Vasantha Karannagoda and Air Force Marshal Roshan Gunatilaka will take part. They will be joined by the current Deputy Minister of Defence, retired Major General Aruna Jayasekara. With their involvement and under the leadership of the President, everything is ready for tomorrow's commemoration. We encourage all citizens to wave the national flag at their homes as a show of respect and gratitude to the brave heroes who gave their lives for the country.
Be a part of the Beach Rugby Carnival, organised by OTRFU on the 24th of May, 3 p.m. onwards at the Port City, Colombo. More information on 0777 3865233. Media sponsor Yes 101, Legends 966 and TV1.
Still in local news, a man was injured in a shooting incident today in Blumendal.
Police said that the 41-year-old victim has been admitted to the National Hospital in Colombo. The shooting was reportedly carried out by two individuals who arrived on a motorcycle near a shop in the area. Police suspects that a revolver-type firearm was used in the incident.
Meanwhile, investigations have been launched using CCTV footage into the shooting targeting the vehicle of Tusitha Hallolua, the Director General of Public Relations to former President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The investigation is being carried out by 4 teams, including the Colombo Crimes Division.
A shooting targeting Tusitha Hallolua, Director General of Public Relations to former President Ranil Wickremesinghe, occurred near a private hospital on Circular Road in Narayanpeta. Hallolua was returning from a meeting with his lawyer around 9 p.m. last night when he was shot. Police said that two individuals who arrived on a motorcycle opened fire, attacked Hallolua and took away a file that was in his possession. Tusitha Hallolua was not harmed in the shooting. However, due to the injuries caused during the incident, he has been admitted to the National Hospital in Colombo. Meanwhile, further investigations into the incident are being conducted by the Colombo Crime Division on the instructions of Acting Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasurya. Tusitha Hallolua, who served as the Executive Director of the National Lotteries Board from 2017 to 2019, also served as the Director of Public Relations to former President Ranil Wickremesinghe. On the 15th of May, the Criminal Investigation Department recorded a statement from Hallolua for approximately 7 hours regarding a controversial statement he made on the 2nd of May regarding President Anurakumara Dissanayake.
Attorney General Parinda Ranasinghe has appointed a 4-member committee to examine the Batalanda Commission report.
The committee appointed by the Attorney General will be headed by Senior Additional Solicitor General Rohantha Abe Surya. The other members of the committee are Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Piris, Senior State Counsel Jayani Vagadapola and State Counsel Shakti Jagodarachi. The committee will study the report to determine whether indictments can be filed based on the evidence in the Batalanda Commission report. In addition, the committee will also identify offences for which filing legal action is prescribed. The Attorney General's Department said that the committee has also been assigned to identify any matters that require further investigation. The Batalanda Commission report was referred to the Attorney General by the President's office based on instructions from the President. The President's media division said that the government has decided to take further action based on the report. The report of the Batalanda Commission that investigated gruesome events that occurred between 1988 and 1990 came back into the limelight after a statement made by former President Ranil Wickremesinghe on the program Head to Head that aired on Al Jazeera on the 6th of March.
The Department of Meteorology said that increased rainfall is expected in the southwestern parts of Sri Lanka starting today. The Department of Meteorology said that southwest monsoon conditions are gradually establishing across Sri Lanka. Heavy rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters is likely in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces, as well as in Galle, Matara, Nuwara and Kandy districts. In the 24-hour window ending at 8:30 a.m. today, the highest rainfall recorded on the island was 128.9 millimeters in Thabbowa. Galgamu recorded 103.4 millimeters of rainfall. Meanwhile, landslide warnings have been issued for 6 districts, includes Colombo, Galle, Kalutara, Kandy, Kegalle and Ratnapura. The National Building Research Organization has advised residents in those areas to remain alert for potential landslides, earth slips and rock falls. Meanwhile, the Department of Irrigation announced that the sluice gates of 7 major reservoirs have been opened. The Disaster Management Center has confirmed that all teams are ready to respond to any emergency situation. The center also announced that any disaster-related situation can be reported via the 24-hour emergency hotline 117.
Biz Fast.
The Ceylon Electricity Board says that the proposed electricity tariff will still leave the price of electricity 5.4% lower than the price in January this year. In a statement released, the Electricity Board said that earlier this year, electricity tariffs were reduced by 20% to provide relief to consumers. As a result, the average price per unit of electricity had dropped to Rs 24. The Electricity Board said that the proposed tariff revisions were brought forward in a bid to address the fall in revenue during the first quarter of this year after electricity tariffs were reduced. The Electricity Board highlighted that the cost of electricity after the proposed tariff is therefore lower than at the beginning of the year. Before the tariff revision in January, the price for the first 30 units was Rs 6 per unit. After the tariff revision, the price was reduced to Rs 4 per unit, and under the proposed tariff change, it will increase to Rs 4.75 per unit. For the 31 to 60 unit category, the price in January was Rs 9 per unit. Following the revision in January, the price was reduced to Rs 6, and under the proposed electricity tariff change, the price for this category will increase to Rs 7 per unit. With the proposed 18.3 increase in electricity charges, the price for the 61 to 90, 91 to 120, 121 to 180 and 181 plus unit categories will rise as outlined below. However, they will still remain lower than the price of electricity in January. Donald Trump has said he will speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin by phone tomorrow about stopping the bloodbath and ending the war in Ukraine.
US President Donald Trump said on Truth Social that the call would take place on Monday and he would then speak to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and the leaders of some NATO countries. Trump had said on Truth Social, quote, "Hopefully it will be a productive day. A ceasefire will take place and this very violent war, a war that should have never happened, will end." End quote. Russia and Ukraine were unable to reach any breakthrough in their first face-to-face talks in 3 years in Istanbul on Friday. Trump had offered to attend the talks in Turkey if Putin would also be there, but the Russian president declined to go. Russian President Vladimir Putin today reiterated his demand that any peace deal with Ukraine should eliminate the causes that triggered this crisis and guarantee Russia's security. Ukraine also reiterated its call for a full and unconditional ceasefire. According to a Ukrainian official, the Kremlin had made new and unacceptable demands, including insisting Kiev withdraw its troops from large parts of its own territory in exchange for a ceasefire.
Hamas has proposed releasing more hostages under a new Gaza ceasefire deal after new negotiations were held yesterday. The talks began hours after Israel's military launched a major new offensive in the Gaza Strip.
a new round of negotiations for a Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal between Hamas and Israel began in Qatar after the Israeli military launched its new expanded offensive in the Gaza Strip, according to both Israeli and Hamas officials. Foreign media reported that Hamas has agreed to release 9 hostages in exchange for a 60-day truce and Israel releasing Palestinian prisoners. The new proposed deal would also allow the entry of 400 aid trucks a day and the evacuation of medical patients from Gaza. Israel, in return, has demanded proof of life and detailed information about all remaining hostages. Israel's military announced the launch of a new offensive named Operation Gideon's Chariots earlier yesterday amid the deadliest wave of strikes in Gaza in months. At least 300 people have been killed since Thursday, including at hospitals and refugee camps in the north and the south of the Strip. Thousands have died since Israel resumed strikes on the 18th of March.
Pope Leo XIV called for unity in the Catholic Church during his inaugural Mass in St. Peter's Square.
Pope Leo officially opened his pontificate by taking his first Pope Mobile tour through the Piazza, a rite of passage that has become synonymous with the papacy's global reach and mediatic draw. 69-year-old Pope Leo XIV smiled and waved from the back of the truck. During the Mass, Pope Leo said he wanted to be a servant to the faithful through the 2 dimensions of the papacy, love and unity, so that the Church could be a force for peace in the world.
I would like that, our first great desire, be for a united Church, a sign of unity and communion, which becomes a leaven for a reconciled world. In this our time, we still see too much discord, too many wounds caused by hatred, violence, prejudice, the fear of difference, and an economic paradigm that exploits the earth's resources and marginalizes the poorest. Let us build a church founded on God's love, a sign of unity, a missionary church that opens its arms to the world, proclaims the word, allows itself to be made restless by history, and becomes a leaven of harmony for humanity.
At the end of the Mass, Pope Leo expressed hope for negotiations to bring a just and lasting peace in Ukraine and offered prayers for the people of Gaza, children, families and elderly who are reduced to hunger.
And people listen to us. And also because they don't like that wasteful, corrupt political culture. So the smoothest transition ever, I think any country could learn a lesson, you know.
Just the fact that you're a woman is not sufficient. You need to have a good backbone. You need to be sure of who you are. And you need to have the strength to speak up.
After the Arab era, we are led to believe that there are a lot of young people who are interested in politics, in governance, in system change and all of that.
Thousands of people who are involved. It's very polarizing. So we have to seek certain reconciliation also in the society when we talk about this. We shouldn't always be polarizing. We shouldn't always be, leveraging it politically.
Face to Face, Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m.
Name, your unique talent, your phone number. To Sri Lanka's Got Talent PO Box 100 Ratmalana or WhatsApp us on 076 599 7788.
Welcome back. The rehearsals for the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka's Pops Concert, a trilingual extravaganza, a program lineup of exciting artists and music took place today.
final preparations for the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka's Pops concert, a trilingual extravaganza, took place today at the Bishop's College Auditorium, setting the stage for a night of vibrant musical celebration.
Hi everyone, I am here at the Bishop's College Auditorium where rehearsals for one of the most anticipated musical events here in Colombo is happening, and that is the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka's iconic Pops concert. Now, as you saw in the first few bits, you can see the rehearsals are in full swing. There's so much energy, and this year as well as always, we have an amazing lineup of veteran and iconic artists who will be joining as well, and music from the 70s, 2000s, all coming together here in one concert. So let's see what's happening more here at the rehearsals.
Conducted by Nishantha Varnakulasuriya, the concert promises a dynamic lineup headlined by Sri Lanka's iconic pop duo, Bhatia and Santosh, better known as PNS. Joining them are immensely talented Shyam Dean and Dr. Arunanthi, bringing their unique artistry to this multicultural showcase. Adding rich harmony to the performance is the renowned Old Joe's Choir, further elevating the concert's grandeur.
We'll be singing together with the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka, and trust me, I think it's going to be a beautiful experience, because this will be the first time that we are singing our songs together with the Symphony Orchestra of Sri Lanka. This 25th of May at the Bishop's College Auditorium. Please be there. It's going to be a wonderful experience.
We look forward to this concert because it's something different even for us, because we usually play classical music, but this is a different lineup of music that we are playing. It involves both Sinhala, Tamil, and also English, non-English songs and music from the movies, and there's a wide variety and genre of music that's being performed on Sunday.
I'm absolutely excited and ecstatic to let you guys know that I'm performing for the SOSL Pops concert happening at the Bishop's Auditorium. It's been one of my pipe dreams to be able to perform with this lot, and it's finally happened, so it's a huge deal for me, and to be able to perform some of the songs I love to perform with an actual 70-plus piece orchestra backing you is a feeling like no other.
Trilingual extravaganza is set to take place on the 25th of May at the Bishop's College Auditorium. Music lovers can expect an unforgettable evening celebrating unity through the universal language of music.
Isipatana College, Colombo reaffirmed their dominance in school rugby today with a commanding victory over Trinity College Kandy in the final of Schools Rugby Knockouts 2025, the President's Trophy. This triumph marks the 13th time Isipatana College has claimed this prestigious championship title.
The finals of the Schools Rugby Knockouts 2025 President's Trophy kicked off at 4 p.m. today at the Royal College Sports Complex in Colombo. The event was attended by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. This is the first time since 2012 that Isipatana College and Trinity College have met in the finals of the Schools Rugby Knockouts President's Trophy. Isipatana College took the lead in the first half of the match, which was heated from the start with a score of 7-6, where Isipatana converted a try while Trinity managed to only score 2 penalties. In the second half, Trinity College's Shan Altaf scored a drop goal, bringing his school close to victory, leading by 2 points. However, in the last minute of the match, Isipatana players scored a try. Isipatana College won the school's Rugby Knockouts 2025 President's Trophy for the second consecutive time. The final score was 12-9.
Yesterday marked a special milestone for Sri Lankan cinema as the acclaimed film Gahanulamai was screened at the prestigious 78th Cannes Film Festival. We wrap up today's news with this exciting story on our special segment, Happy Headlines.
The 4K restoration of the film Gahanulamai, directed by late Sumitra Peiris, was screened yesterday at the 78th Cannes Film Festival in France. Originally released in 1978, Gahanulamai is based on the novel by award-winning author Karunasena Jayalat. It also marked the directorial debut of Sumitra Peiris, Sri Lanka's first professional female filmmaker. The film received international acclaim, winning Best Film of the Year at the London Film Festival in 1978. Representing Sri Lanka at this year's Cannes Festival are lead actors Vasanthi Chaturani, Ajit Jinadasa and Shyama Ananda, alongside the chairman of the National Film Cooperation, Sudat Mahadiulvava. Now decades later, Gahanulamai has once again etched Sri Lanka's name in gold on the global cinematic map, carrying forward the legacy and brilliance of our past into the future.
Sada